Chapter 9. The Lost is Found. We searched thoroughly in the woods around Cooney Castle, but we found no raccoons. I wasn't too surprised. Even if Andrea and her family were still around, we could easily have missed them. Looking for a raccoon in that big forest was about as simple as seeking the proverbial needle in a haystack. In an attempt to cheer up Sonia, we promised her a campfire party, and presently came the evening chosen for the event. Nearly 2 weeks had passed since the disappearance of our raccoons. The long, warm evenings of July rested on the north country. The forest was teeming with life, and the great bullfrog chorus, which comes early from West Bay, was at its peak of volume. Sundown brought an outburst of bird songs, linnets, grosbeaks, whippoorwills, thrushes, robins, song sparrows, white-throated and white-crowned sparrows. The whippoorwill is a harmless and lovable bird who misrepresents himself. He cries a lot about beating poor William, but he doesn't mean it. Apparently, he loves to hear his own voice, for he uses it so incessantly. It is a bit flattering to call his wailing singing. Heard from afar, it blends beautifully with the forest choir, but as a solo voice it has no music. Not many people have heard a whippoorwill at close range, and those who have are startled at the volume and sharpness of the call. Dorothy Eck found this out. She and Jenny were in our cabin kitchen preparing some things to take down to the campfire area for our dinner when a whippoorwill flew up and perched just outside the open kitchen window. They did not know he was there. Whippoorwill, whippoorwill. He cut loose and not more than 8 feet from Dorothy's head. Eek! Screamed Dorothy, jumping up in the air and dropping a bowl of salad on the floor. Lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, green peppers, and gooey salad dressing went everywhere. What kind of a beast is it? Close the windows and bolt the doors. Just a whippoorwill. He won't hurt you, Jenny laughed. The poor old bird, badly frightened, was half a mile away already. Oh, Dorothy grunted. Just look at what I've done. I'm terribly sorry. Don't be, Jenny soothed her. There's always one calamity with every campfire dinner. We have more salad materials in the refrigerator, and I'm sure we won't be attacked by another whippoorwill. Jenny called us all in so we could laugh about the incident and the mess. Then we cleaned it up and went to our campfire. I often wonder at the fact that nature joys never grow tiresome. The charm of field and forest keeps pace with every step and stage of our growth. Since I was a child going to camps on the river of Illinois with my parents, I've known no pleasures equal to hiking, picnicking, campfire gathering, and learning about the outdoors. A new kind of fun was in store for us this night of our first campfire party with the X. Other friends had accepted our invitation. There were Ray and Ada, the forester, and his wife who shared so many of our North Woods adventures, and several other neighbors who can reach our island from their cabins by boat. Our dinner music was the Forest Symphony. Pastor Pete was an uninvited guest, and so were the chickadees. Chipmunks and squirrels came too. Sonia spent so much time feeding them she hardly ate anything herself. Everyone praised the food. What did it matter if some of it was overcooked? Some of it actually burned. It didn't make a difference. Anything cooked over a campfire tastes better. Dinner over, we built up the fire and sat so we could look past the flames out across the lake. Daylight was fading, and rich purple shadows settled on the forest. With binoculars, we watched the flight of various birds at their evening feeding. Pestos and Pete and the chickadees delayed their bedtime to feed from Sonia's hand, but at last they retired into their hidden chambers for the night. Then Ray, who has keen sight, developed by years in the forest, discovered some sort of creature at the water's edge on the mainland at the nearest point to our island. He helped Sonia train a pair of binoculars on the spot. It's a raccoon! The little girl cried delightedly. I believe it is, said Dick, studying the creature through his glasses. Much excited, Jenny took our own powerful glasses and, resting her arm against a tree, studied the creature at the distant shore. It is, Sam. It's a raccoon, a large one, she said. Oh, could it be Andrea? It's coming out into the lake, Sonia reported. I believe it's going to swim. No, there it goes back. Up the bank into the brush. Jenny carried on the story. Something must have frightened it. I wonder if we dare hope. For a few minutes there was no activity on the shore. Then Jenny saw the animal again. It's wading out into the water, she reported. Now it's swimming. Coming this way, Dick exclaimed. See the head and the V-shaped wake behind it? Sam, there comes another one, a small one. Jenny cried with renewed excitement. I see him right by the water's edge. He's timid. Now he wades out. He's swimming after the big one. Another one, Ray exclaimed. There are three in line now. Here comes another. Sonia was so excited she was trembling. We all got to our feet to watch the spectacle. Binoculars were passed from one to another, though we could now see with unaided eyes the ripples made by the animals in the waters. Sam, there's another. That makes five, all coming this way, said Jenny, hardly able to control herself. That must be Andrea and her family. Wait, here comes the sixth and the seventh. I can see all seven. Never would we forget that moment. The surface of the lake was a glassy calm, so that the V-shaped wakes of the little swimmers could be easily discerned. Here they came, seven of them, lined up like a flotilla of destroyers. They remained evenly spaced, the larger one first, and the smaller ones following. The raccoons can travel great distances by water, but it takes them a long time to do it. At my suggestion, everyone in our party remained as quiet as possible. A land animal swimming is at disadvantage and knows it. We were to move were we to move about and make noise, I had no doubt that the raccoons would turn and swim back. Sonia was so excited she was about to pop, and Jenny was too. The creatures came ashore near our campfire and back of some brush. Asking the others to wait, I took some pieces of bread and made my way down to meet them. There was no doubt of it. Right behind Andrea came Looney Coon, the cub with the flopped left ear. The white streak on his head was more prominent than ever now that he had a heavier coat of fur. Following his mother's lead, the youngster came up and, with very little evidence of timidity, nibbled at some bread. My heart was beating strongly with excitement and joy. Andrea followed me as I went back up to our campfire. The cubs came too, but more slowly. They were just a little shy. They're all here, Jenny observed. The owl didn't get them after all. Oh, you blessed creatures. Scraps from the table were literally showered on our unexpected guests. Several of them came right up to us for food, but others remained aloof and waited for us to toss them bites. Sonia hardly knew what she was doing. She was so thrilled. She was on her knees feeding Andrea, Looney Coon, and one of his brothers all at once. Andrea ate as if she were very hungry, but the cubs were so satisfied and then began playing. tumbling around, rolling over one another, and keeping us all in laughter. "Where do you suppose they've been?" Jenny asked. "I can only guess," I replied, "but I would suppose Andrea moved her family when she knew the owl had discovered their nest. Then, as soon as the cubs' eyes were open, she began training them to hunt. No doubt they've found another tree for a home, or perhaps space under a cabin. As soon as they were large enough to swim, she brought them over here, just as she has her families of other years." Eek! Dorothy screamed suddenly. The raccoons scattered into the brush. "What's the matter?" Dick asked. "That little one, the one with the floppy ear, he bit me!" she exclaimed. "Bit you?" "Yes, he bit my toe." Dorothy was wearing toeless shoes and heavy red socks. Her big nose was too much of a her big toe was too much of a temptation for Looney Coon. I saw him eyeing the toe longingly. A moment later, when the attention of the party was directed elsewhere, he sneaked up and took another quick nip. It was a playful bite that did not cut the flesh, but it brought a new eek from Dorothy. "Mother," Sonia said appealingly, "Looney Coon is having such a good time. Couldn't you let him bite your toe just a little? He wants to so badly. And wouldn't it prove you're glad he's back if you put your foot out where he can reach it?" She did, and he did.